Hello, I'm Julian and I'm making some bread in the Ideas Lab. This rather colourful background are the exhibits that I used for representing proteins. Bread itself is a place where lots of reactions happen in the chemistry between proteins. The proteins basically are like little machines made up of smaller parts called amino acids. To give you an analogy, amino acids are a bit like the nuts and bolts and washers that you'd find in a storeroom of a factory. The proteins themselves are more like the machines that those nuts and bolts can be turned into. Now when we come to bread, we have a protein called gluten. Gluten is a store of amino acids, a bit like the place that stores all the nuts and bolts in the factory, like the storerooms. The bread will use it for its own purposes, to make its own machines, which will be proteins that regulate things coming in and out of the cell, that help the DNA in the cells replicate, that pump things around the cells. For us, the bread makers, gluten is a store of protein, and of course it goes into us as part of our diet. Gluten takes two forms. We've got gliadin, which is like a ball shape, and glutenin, which is long strings. And as we knead it, those two different types of proteins start forming a giant lattice, like a woven mat, if you like. You can actually see the way it's affected the bread. It's pretty stretchy. It's actually ideal for what's going to happen next, which is that there's yeast in here, which I put in with some warm water and the flour. And what the yeast will do is it will start to feed off the flour and produce carbon dioxide. This is a reaction of its own. So we've got the yeast doing one thing, producing carbon dioxide, and we've got the bread doing the other thing as I do this, which is forming a structure. Put the two together, and we've got an inflatable balloon, basically, a structure that's going to inflate with carbon dioxide. So earlier on, I mixed the flour and the salt, made the dough, and here it is. I'm now going to leave it into this bowl here, which is just a place to prove. Proving is when you let the dough sit and it fills up with gas. This is going to take about an hour. As the video finishes, that hour will be compressed into about 10 seconds, partly because it looks good to see this thing speeded up, but also I want to get across the idea in the Ideas Lab that everything happens a lot quicker. When that's done, the bread's going to be ready and I'm going to have my lunch. Thank you.